So, hello everyone. Today, I actually just heard about a story that happened. It was a shooting that took place within a mall. I have an article I do want to read to you guys because it is so new, definitely. And then I'm going to give my commentary as we go along, okay? So, here's the article, and everything that I have as well will be linked down in the description box below if you want to look at it a little bit more on details that I don't bring up in here. So it says 12 injured in mass mall shooting, 3 detained, no fatalities, which is great. So happy. It says the Columbia Police Department confirmed that around 2:03 p.m. they were called to the scene of a shooting inside a Columbiana center. This triggered a response from the Columbia Police Department and the other counties and whatnot. It says Chief Skip Holbrook said no one was killed in the shooting, but 12 people were injured. 10 of those people were hit by gunfire. 2 was trampled in the crowd as people tried to escape. It says 10 people were in the hospital. 2 of them went by themselves to the hospital. 6 of those are in stable condition, and 2 are in critical conditions. The youngest is a 15-year-old, and the oldest is a 72-year-old. They said 3 people have been detained in an investigation, and they do not believe that this is a random shooting, that they possibly knew each other. Now, and it goes on a little bit more just to give you just a little bit more context, a little bit more detail. So I don't know how, they say it's not a random shooting. I don't know how not random it is. You have someone who's 15, then you have someone that's 72, unless maybe you're aiming for one person and then, because it said 3 people were detained and whatnot. So maybe it was like you were aiming for one person and then you happened to get, 11 others. Maybe that's what that was. I'm not necessarily sure. This is so new. This just happened from the time that I'm recording this about an hour and a half ago, maybe, if not maybe a little bit longer. So it's very, very new. People don't really know too much about what's going on right now. What I will say is this is what I say in all these kind of videos to where I'm talking about guns. This is a serious problem. This is an American problem. Everyone wants to have their own gun. Everyone wants to bear arms. But this is what we have. We have people who don't know how to use a gun. They're not responsible with it. And they just blindly start shooting and going like this. I think I got somebody. I think I got someone. And then, you just ended up harming, 12 other people. For what reason? You're mad. Oh, well, this person, did this to me. So, boom, I'm going to go and kill him. And I'm going to hurt anyone and everyone in this place. This is something I was actually talking about with Max, who has made 3 other videos for this channel as well. Check those out, definitely. But this is something I was talking to him about, right? And it was, we were talking about what happened up in Brooklyn, how you had Frank James, who was the guy who did the, smoke bomb thing, grenade thing, and, shot some people, right? Up in Brooklyn, New York, as we know. So the thing about that, and this is what I was talking about, you have people who were saying, well, if New York wasn't so liberal, and if New York wasn't so, oh, look at us, and if they were more red like Texas, everyone would have had a gun, and then you guys would have just shot them, right? And this pretty much would have been prevented, and whatever, the guy would have been killed, whatnot, right? So let me get this straight. This guy, Frank James, that happened, he did what he did up in Brooklyn. So you're telling me he had a gun, and the whole argument with that entire thing is this. It's easy for me to go out and get a gun, but it's not easy for me to go out and get mental health services for whatever kind of mental health problems you have. It's hard for me to do this. You make it difficult for me to do this, but it's so easy for me to come over here and do this. That's the problem. So anyone, let's say it was like Texas or any other red state or whatever, anyone could go and get a gun, and they could go and do what he did, go and do what this person did or these people did, shooting up the place. And people were like, oh, but you could go and do it and, he would have been dealt with. Yeah, it's a smoke-filled room, the subway area that they were in. It's a smoke-filled place. Let me have 5 other, 10 other, 20 other people all blindly shooting because I can't see anything. And then you're going to hurt even more people than what he did. Make that make sense for me, because that just doesn't make any sense. But this is the logic that these people are having when they're talking about this. They're like, oh well, yeah, just get a gun, just get another gun and do it. And no, that's not gonna work. That's crazy. I don't need someone else to have another gun. That's the problem right now. Are the guns, you guys? You make it so easy and so accessible for people to just go out and get one. That's the problem that we're facing. This is what the problem is. This is what I'm talking about. It's so easy for someone to go and get a gun, but it's not easy for someone to go and get a real education. It's not easy for someone to go out and get mental health services. Really? Everything in life is difficult. Buying a home, whatever the case may be. It even costs a whole bunch of money to have a child. But to get a gun, I could just go, right now down the street and go get one right now, and I could just go and shoot up a whole bunch of people and say I'm protecting myself, or whatever kind of craziness that's going on. The problem is we need the thing, or solution would be more gun regulations. Maybe disband certain organizations, or lower their limit, or lower their impact that they actually have. But this is just pretty much what I'm thinking about. I mean, there's really nothing else more to this story right now. But I would like to know what you guys think about it. Did you guys hear about this? I just heard about this, like, I don't know, maybe about 30 minutes ago. So did you guys hear about it? Did you guys know anyone of this? What do you think needs to happen? Do you think that people need to just keep having guns and keep committing mass shootings and throwing smoke bombs and stuff like that? I mean, what do you think the solution should be? Obviously, it's not going to be an easy one, but I would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts about it. But until then.